We're continuing to follow breaking news right now of Derek Chauvin guilty on all 3 counts. Now, one of the top things that we want to talk about is that we've already established an appeal will probably be filed. One of the things that might come up is this right here. The jury was not supposed to follow news coverage while they're acting as jurors. And I want to know if there's anything that could have been done to really track that and make sure they weren't doing that. Cammie?
Well, it would be unusual if someone saw them watching the news or saw them, reading a newspaper. Then, of course, that would need to be brought to the attention. But when they're in their own homes, they are assumed to be following the judge's orders and rules.
And one of the reasons this is so important, according to the defense, is because of Congresswoman Maxine Waters' comments earlier. If we want to take a listen to what she had to say first.
I am very hopeful, and I hope that we're going to get a verdict that is say guilty, guilty, guilty. We got to stay on the street, and we've got to get more active. We've got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know that we mean business.
You can't avoid it, and it is so pervasive that it is. I just don't know how this jury. It can really be said to be that they are free from the taint of this.
Okay, Ted, did you buy that argument from the defense? Is it something that an appeals court might look at?
I doubt it. I think that it really doesn't have much relevance, and I don't know how the defense would prove that it has much relevance. I doubt that the jury, if it heard it, and it may not have heard it, probably didn't at least once sequestered, should not have heard it. But I don't know that they would pay much attention to this. Look, she's an elected politician. People say all kinds of things about trials all the time. I just don't think it was relevant. And I think while the court, as a general matter, seemed to handle his trial very well, I think he was off in left field there, or some other field.
Now this goes to all 3 of you. Is there anything that you could see might be a potential grounds for appeals?
I think he handled the trial pretty well. I have no doubt that defense will come up with various grounds of appeal, and I would expect that he would do so. That's part of his job. But I don't see anything that jumps out at me right now with respect to some egregious error. And unless we find out something about some kind of jury misconduct that we don't know about, that would be a real surprise. I just don't see it.
And I would just add, high publicity alone is not a basis for reversing a verdict. It has to prejudice the jury. So this is what Ted was talking about. It's not just that the jury knows that there are news reports about this, but that it influences them and influences the outcome.
Yeah, and it's not a jury that really followed the news that closely, because according to their jury forms, many of them had never seen the video or only saw short clips of it before the trial. Cammie, what were you going to say?
No, I agree with both my colleagues here. I think that there was a lot of publicity, but it would have had to. You need to show that it influenced the jurors, and unless something like that comes out, But during the course of a criminal trial, the defense, they're going to object and try to preserve that record. As Ted said, that is his job. He is to be a zealous advocate for his client. And I think we can see with all of he did not have the strongest case, and the defense theories were a bit incoherent, but his job was to try.
Well, thank you all so much for your insight. We really appreciate it. We're going to head to break, but we'll be right back for even more.